Picture this. You check your bank account, and it looks like a group chat after an argument. Empty, tense, and slightly embarrassing. $183.47. Not broke, but don't breathe too hard broke. You open the app again, just to make sure it didn't magically fix itself. It didn't. And then some guy on the internet casually says, once you hit $10,000, money just starts stacking itself. Oh, really? Because right now, saving $1,000 feels like trying to fill a bathtub with a teaspoon, while someone keeps pulling the drain. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your first $1,000 isn't hard because you're bad with money. It's hard because your brain, your habits, and your entire environment are designed to make you fail. You're not just budgeting. You're not just cutting back. You're fighting default settings that were installed years ago, quietly and consistently. But once you break that first barrier, everything flips. Saving stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like power. You stop reacting to money and start directing it. Today, we're breaking down the real reasons why your first $1,000 is the hardest and how it quietly unlocks the next $10,000. And trust me, the shift we're about to hit halfway through, that's where your brain betrays you and then starts working for you. Starting from $0 is like pushing a dead car uphill. No engine, no momentum. Every dollar you save, pure effort, no help. Just you, debating $20 decisions like they matter way too much. You save $50, something takes $70. You save $100, life sends you a bill. There's no progress feedback, no visible reward, just effort. It feels like nothing is working. But once you hit $1,000, now you've got something most people never build, momentum. Money starts sticking instead of slipping. You're not resetting to zero every other week. And suddenly, saving $100 doesn't feel impossible. It feels like progress. But momentum isn't your biggest problem. Your brain is. Your brain treats saving money like eating plain lettuce. Good for you, but not exciting. This is called temporal discounting. Your brain values today's reward over future benefits. $50 today equals instant enjoyment. $50 saved equals invisible progress. So your brain picks the obvious option, now over later. That's why the first $1,000 feels pointless, because you don't feel progress yet. You just feel like you're missing out, and missing out repeatedly, that kills motivation. But here's where it gets worse. When you're near zero, every dollar has a job. Rent, food, bills, nothing feels optional. So saving doesn't feel smart. It feels like sacrifice. Skipping a small expense doesn't feel strategic. It feels like you're making your day worse. And your brain pushes back. Relax, you deserve this. Just this once. We'll fix it later. That voice sounds reasonable. But it's also why progress resets. That's why people quit early. Not because they're lazy, but because it feels like they're losing. And nobody sticks with something that feels like losing. Your life is also working against you. Not aggressively, but consistently. Subscriptions you forgot about. Convenience habits you rely on. Spending that feels normal, and your environment makes it worse. Friends who normalize spending. Social media that glorifies it. A culture that rewards consumption. So now you're not just saving money. You're fighting your ecosystem. That $8 lunch isn't the real problem. The system behind it is. And until you challenge that system, saving feels exhausting. But even if you fix that, there's still one thing holding you back. People don't act based on goals. They act based on identity. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll prove it. You'll start saving. Slip once. Then say, this is why I can't do this. That's why progress disappears. Because your brain protects that story. But when you hit $1,000, that story breaks. Now you've got proof. Proof you can save. Proof you can control your money. You are no longer trying. You are someone who does it. And that shift, that's where things accelerate. At $200 saved, nothing changes. At $500, still nothing. At $800, just less stress. No big reward, no visible upgrade. So your brain asks, why are we doing this? And honestly, fair. This is where most people quit. Right before it starts working. Because once you hit $1,000, now there's a scoreboard. Now progress is visible. Now effort feels real. You start checking your balance more. And for the first time, progress feels good. And once it feels good, you keep going. Most people don't spend money. They spend emotions. Bad day? Spend. Bored? Spend. Lonely? spend. Money becomes a quick fix, so saving feels harder because you're not just cutting spending, you're removing a coping mechanism. And that's uncomfortable because now you actually have to deal with life without distractions. But once you break that cycle, everything changes. At $1,000, something shifts. You start wanting to save more, not because you have to, but because you like it. You skip something and think, that's progress. You get extra money and think, add it. Saving stops feeling restrictive and starts feeling rewarding. You're not reacting anymore, you're building. And just when your mindset changes, the math starts helping. Before $1,000, your money does nothing. After $1,000, it starts working. Even small returns begin to show up. Nothing huge, but it's movement. And movement builds momentum. Now it's not just you saving, it's you and your money. And that changes everything. At $0 savings, money is survival. At $1,000, it's breathing room. You're not panicking over every expense. You're not one problem away from chaos. You have space. And as it grows, money stops being about things and starts being about options. The option to say no, the option to walk away, the option to choose differently. That's when everything changes because now you're in control. So here's the truth. The first $1,000 isn't just a number. It's a psychological fight. It's you versus your habits, your identity, your environment, and your brain. And yeah, it's hard, it's slow, it's frustrating, but it's temporary because once you win, everything gets easier. Not because life changes overnight, but because resistance drops. Your habits align. Your thinking improves. Your money starts working with you. So if you're stuck at $200, $500, even $0, good. You're not behind. You're just in the hardest phase. Break $1,000 and everything starts to shift. If you want more breakdowns like this, where money becomes a system you can actually win, hit subscribe because the next video, we're going deeper into how everything changes after you save $10,000.